Good morning, students. Today in Pedagogy of Biological and Physical Sciences, we are going to discuss the subtopic that is 9.6 making groups. Okay, this is a small subtopic and very simple and interesting also. So let us discuss what is this making groups and how it is useful for as a biological and physical science teacher to facilitate the learning. So why group learning? What is the need or importance of group learning? So group learning is very important in teaching learning of physical and biological science. Group learning is a vehicle for nurturing various interpersonal skills in students. Okay, so it is a vehicle in biological and physical science and it nurtures interpersonal skills. Okay, for example, when you are doing anything in a group, what happen? You share. Okay, you communicate with your friends or the group members, you share your ideas, views, opinions. Okay, like that what happen, your interpersonal skills will develop, like sharing your views as well as listening to others views and opinions. This comes under interpersonal skills. So that is one of the advantage of this group learning, so that you can make your students as a socialized persons and make them to learn about the interpersonal skills. And students working in group display their growth in tolerance. Okay, they learn how to tolerate. See, at the end, after the schooling and the completion of their education, they have to lead a good social life. So in the society there are so many types of people with their different mentalities and attitudes. So they have to live in that society with the tolerance. Okay, they have to tolerate all those things, their attitudes, their feelings, their opinions, everything, so that we can develop from school stage only by giving such opportunities as group learning. Okay, so then their ability to listen to others and respect each other's view. Okay, so if they work in group learning, their ability will be increased, like listen to others and respect each other's view. Okay, when we are working in a group, each and every individual was assigned with different tasks. Okay, so that task, when they are explaining that task or when they are giving their opinion or value judgment towards that task, so all the group members collaboratively working on that task and they listen each and everybody's contribution and they give respect to their contribution. And it brings improvement in self-reliability, independence in dealing with others and their ability to making decisions and in becoming considerate and helpful towards others. Okay, so self-reliability will increase and independence and in dealing with the others and their ability in making decisions. Okay, because here they become independent because they are working with their own hands and they are exploring by themselves, so they become reliable as well as independent and they start making their own decisions and they become considerate and helpful towards others. Okay, so if anybody is not getting anything in the group, they also help them. And they also develop logical and critical thinking. Okay, these are the values we will develop through science teaching, that is logical thinking and critical thinking, communication skills and presentation skills. They learn all these things in the group learning, because when they are working on tasks, they learn why this is happening, how it is happening, so they apply their logic and critical thinking in those areas. And they for communicating their ideas and views, they use the communication skills such as LSRW, listening, speaking, reading and writing, and they present what they have find in their learning or in their project work with a good interpretation skills that comes under presentation skills. And group work creates situations for students to develop skills of argumentation and tolerance. Okay, they argue with each other. Okay, if for example our science is just not believing whatever other people are saying, or just do not believe only on hearsays. Okay, they have to argue why it is happening, what is the reason behind this, is it proved by the scientific evidence. Like that they argue with each other, okay, in a positive aspect in order to find a good conclusion. So they argue, skills of argumentation and tolerance also they learn here. And it can also promote opportunities for confronting different ideas. So confronting means face to face interaction or face to face argumentation, and accepting or denying others opinion. Okay, so that comes under confronting. Like if you are not liking, or if you are not agree with the somebody's statement, okay, you can confront them. And learning ways to express one's own point of view. So here you learn to express what you are feeling, or what is your opinion or viewpoint regarding particular task. So you learn here how to express that opinion or your point. And the ability of making oneself understandable by others. Okay, so here you make yourself to understandable by others by putting your viewpoints in front of the others. And the capacity of being involved actively in discussions and accepting criticism. Okay, so here the capacity of being involved actively, you are involving actively in the group, because here in group learning each and everybody have to contribute, okay, on that particular task. So you have to involve in that actively, because you also have to contribute your part, whatever you task you did. And discussions and accepting criticism, you have to accept the criticism. For example, if your viewpoints are not matching with the task, or not related to the task, or they are not valid or reliable, you have to accept the criticism from others. And in a group, students jointly negotiate, understanding, plan tasks, explain things to teach to each other, share ideas and coordinate action. So here the group, what they do, they jointly negotiate each other, and they understand and they plan the task, like how we have to complete this program or project, and explain things to each other, like how we are proceeding in this project, and share ideas and coordinate actions. Everything will happen in the group learning. And therefore, while designing teaching learning experiences, care should be taken to provide ample group work. So whenever you are planning the teaching learning experiences, see in our lesson plan also we have one period plan, also we have one step after reading, group discussion is there. Means whatever keywords they don't know, they discuss. Okay, maybe some students know, some students do not know. So like that, when they discuss, the keywords meaning will be shared from one student to another student. So like that, this is very important aspect, and the teacher must plan such type of activities in his class. Care should be taken to provide ample group work in various situations. Means enough group activities the teacher must take in various situations, such as discussion, activity, experiments. See, in group discussion all the students involved. In activity, assign the activity group wise. And experiment, for experiment also assign group wise. Field work, okay, give field work to one group for one topic. And project work also you can assign in group work as well as individual. And use of ICT and etc. So like that, you can, teacher have provide this such type of opportunities to the students in order to develop group skills among the students. And group setup can be done for various approaches and strategies of teaching learning of physical and biological sciences. So group setup can be done for various approaches and strategies. Okay, so for various topics, concepts and other things you have to do for this group setup. Not only for one thing, whenever discussion is coming, that time only you are making a group and you are asking them to discuss in the group. It should not be like that. Like project work, assignment, activities. Okay, so balance should be there in all the activities. Some in individual, some are there in group work, like that, so that each and every domain they can become excel. Next, facilitating formation of groups. Means here, as a teacher, whenever he is planning for teaching learning activities, how he is facilitating and how he is forming the groups. Okay, that is comes under facilitating formation of groups here. So here these following points can be kept in mind for facilitating formation of groups in the class. So whenever you are forming a group in the class, you must take consideration of this step in order to make good groups of students. So the first one is, how can the particular task be performed by group approach? Okay, how can the particular task be performed by group approach? So whenever you are assigning a task, you have to think before only how they can perform this task if I assign them in a group, okay, whether it is possible or not possible, that you have to think. And how to assess myself while planning group work to make certain that meaningful learning of all students is taking place. So here the teacher has to assess himself that if he or she has assigned the work under the group, so whether the learning has been take place or not, how teacher must know, by assessing what things the teacher can able to know about the learning has take place, that he or she has to decide before assigning the group work. Next, how to assess students and provide them feedback. So how you judge or assess the student, how do you evaluate the students that whether they really did the work properly under the group, and how do you give the feedback them on any concern. Next, how to discuss regularly with students of different groups regarding their progress. Okay, how do you discuss regularly with students of different groups regarding, because there are 5 to 6 groups. For example, if the 30 students are there, you make 5 to 6 groups in the class based upon the convenience. So how do you communicate with them? Okay, so that also a very important task here, and you should not leave any group, or you should not consult one group more than 2 to 3 times. So like that, there should be balance in these things, and there is a predetermined approach for these things before assigning the task to the particular group. And teacher must regularly see frequently, she or he has to visit the groups whether they are performing the activities or work properly or not, whether they are gathering the data properly or not, like through vigilant as a vigilance, he has to supervise the students. And how to form different heterogeneous groups of students to cater to their varied needs and abilities. How to form different heterogeneous, what is the meaning of heterogeneous? Means in one group there should not be all one type of student should not be there. Okay, like we divide the students like average, below average, gifted, okay, like that. So in each group all categories of students should be there, like average, below average, gifted, okay, some shy students, some bold students, okay, some hesitant students, okay, like that all types of students should be there. And not only they belong to same community, from different communities, different cultural, religious backgrounds, different socio-economical backgrounds, okay, these all types of students should be there in the group, then only it is called as heterogeneous group, okay, of students to cater their varied needs and abilities. So what happened, if you are making heterogeneous groups, relationship will be established in those group. Okay, for example, there may be some barriers in the class, like in the society they don't speak with the other community or other cultural religion people if there are restrictions in their families. Otherwise in our societies we all we live with the collaboration and cooperation with all the members irrespective of their backgrounds. But if such kind of things are existing in such societies, if you make such groups in the class, what happen, those all barriers will be removed by the removed among the students. Okay, they form a good relationship with the students and other their fellow beings, like they don't think that from which caste, which community, which religion, which socio-economic background they belong. They feel that we all are student, okay, we all are equal, we all are learning the same thing, okay, we all are in the same class studying the same subject. Like that, equality, unity concepts you can develop in the among the students in such type of activities. So whenever you are framing or forming a group, you must think and you must take these points into the consideration, like all the students, all types of students should be there in the group. And how to help students to select the work of their interest and choice and prepare an outline of the work. See, it is not necessary to every time teacher only assign the work or topic to the students. Sometimes give freedom to the students so that they can themselves select the topics from their own interest and choice, so that they can learn their own interested topics and they involve more actively and more enthusiastically because they choose the topic because of their own interest. And how to help them in writing report and giving presentation. So here at the end, after collecting the data, after the discussions over, the time of interpretation and discussing the results, The teacher helped the students by giving the formats of writing the reports, how to write the report, how to analyze the data, how to interpret the data, how to write the conclusion, and how to draw the generalization. These all things teacher has to discuss before the group work. Okay, so that they can represent their group, their work according to in that format. Okay, and giving presentation. So after completion of their work, ask each and every group to come to the dais and explain about their work, their findings, their conclusions. Okay, so each and every group come and they introduce their group members and what are their contributions. Okay, and everything they will discuss, they present nicely in order to explain their work. Okay, so here what happened, the group members are one group, what the work they did, not only they understand about that, they also understand what the work did by others group also. Okay, like this, see here, one group is working very particularly and deeply on one topic, as well as they are also studying the other groups topics also when they are presenting their group work at the end of the session. So this is also very important. The teacher has to facilitate for the feedback and presentation of the group work. Next, how to support them to find resources. Okay, people, books, library, videos to collect information and data. So here teacher has some ways to find the resources. Okay, based upon the topic, whether they are going for the field engagement, okay, whether they are studying in the laboratory, whether they are getting collecting information from the library. These are all things teacher has to facilitate by providing proper resources. Okay, so if they want to contact with the people to whom they have to contact, that information teacher has to give in books, which books. Okay, otherwise it is from the internet, the particular URL or link should be shared by the teacher so that the students can reach the topic easily. Okay, library sources, videos, audios, ICT tools to collect the information and data. These all should be facilitated by the teacher, because here the teacher's role is a friend, philosopher, guide and facilitator. So here, instead of giving explanation about the concept, the teacher is facilitating the resources to the student. Okay, as a passive observer, he is observing all the students whatever they are doing, and he guides the student wherever it is necessary. Okay, but most of the work is done by the student, but the teacher remain as a passive observer. He see how the students are performing. Okay, whether they are doing or whether they are going in a proper way or not. If they are misleading the group work, then he has to guide them, but he should be he should have an eye upon them, that whether they are doing the proper work or not. Then what abilities are required for performing the task, that is also the teacher must depend. For example, if it is a lab activity, the students and teachers must know about the what manipulative and arranging skills they must know. Okay, how to handle the apparatus, how to take care of acids, bases, like that. Depend upon the task, they have to know what are the abilities they require. For example, if they are going any place to visit and collect the information from that place, whom they have to approach, how to communicate with them, what skills they require, everything they have to decide previously. And what learning objectives for the concepts to be transacted. So means objectives, they have to decide what they are going to learn in this. Okay, whether they are learning the concept, okay, whether they are understanding, whether they are applying the knowledge. It's depend on the concept whether what objective they are going to learn. Okay, and at the end the teacher also assess how whether the objectives has achieved or not. Okay, this is about the group work. Okay, so group work is very important in biological science and physical science for assigning the activities, because our science teaching learning is based upon learning and doing. Okay, so here learning and doing, so we must involve the students to learn by doing. Okay, so to provide such opportunities, among those opportunities group work is one opportunity. So through assigning groups, through assigning the task in the groups, they learn the concept. Here they learn so many skills along with this: sharing ideas, okay, interpersonal skills, communication skills, tolerance skills, okay, how to argue, how to confront, okay, logical thinking, critical thinking, these all skills we can develop through group learning, and teacher must have to plan these group activities in his teaching learning activities frequently. Okay, so this is about group learning. This is a small topic 9.6, that is making groups or group learning. Okay, thank you.